What's up, everybody? Welcome to a chill stream, and welcome to the YouTube video I have in the background playing music.
Such a boomer.
Yep, totally. And welcome my guests, my dude Chubb, creator of Merry Boys. How you doing, Chubb?
Good. Good to see you guys. It's Friday.
Yeah,
Everyone's happy.
that's right.
Yeah.
And our resident gaslight, Shay. How you doing, darling?
I'm hanging in there. It's a weird day today, so.
It's been a weird week, and to a lesser extent, it's been a weird year. So,
this whole year.
Yeah, it's just.
Can it be 2021 now? Like,
right? It's just trying. This is my whole attitude towards 2020 right now.
That's perfect.
Right? And this is how I want to go spend my time right now. Just chasing down the zombies, as it were. But anyway,
we're just know why they wait. They wait until the one behind them gets chopped down, and then they go, "Oh shit, I should run." And it's like, you think after 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. Zombie logic. What are you gonna do?
I expect better. Damn it.
Right. I mean, we should, but rotting brains and all. So, Chubb, what have you been up to, man? What's going on in your life right now?
Things are quiet. I mean, I've been really enjoying this pandemic thing. I'm glad whoever arranged that. Kudos to them because it's been really good for me. Just having quiet streets and everything's just been a bit chill. So I've been writing a lot. I've been writing the next Merry Boys, doing art for it, and just preparing. Yeah, it's been going well.
That's awesome, man. Dude, I cannot wait.
Me either.
I'm waiting on a package from Shay that has my shirts in it.
Oh, right. Okay, good.
I made him wait so long because it took me forever.
He's sending me all kinds of cool goodies and stuff as well as some presents for birthday. So it's all good. It's all good.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's supposed to be arriving today, right? Before 9.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I know.
I was like walking up to the front porch, and I'm like, "Ooh, is it there? Is it there?" No.
No. Frega got his today. Yours is tomorrow. So
Cool, Nate. Wow.
Frega, you got something else from you?
Yeah. So I sent, because it was his wife's birthday. Like a month ago. So I finally sent her
a couple days before mine.
Yeah, shut up. But so I finally sent her stuff over, and I had Dan's little pink plush bunny keychain that I've had sitting over here forever. That I finally sent off. I also sent him some hooks so he could actually hang up the hand turkeys that I sent him. That he's like, yeah, I just need to get hooks for him. I was like, I'm gonna call your bluff. I'm gonna send you hooks, and I'm gonna watch you not hang it. Is what's gonna happen. Right? They're hideous.
What the hooks are?
The hand turkeys.
Oh,
terrible.
Shut up.
They're
if I can find the sketch pad that I put it in now, since it's
I've had more than one person tell me that my hand turkeys are not universally appreciated.
Their hand turkeys are not universally appreciated.
They don't make hand turkeys,
right?
So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, I gotta scan in the hand turkey that I did for Gelf, so I can send it. Is it in this pad?
You should do it with macaroni between the fingers.
Right? Where the hell did I put that one? Is it in this pad? I can't keep track of where I put things. Do you ever do that, Carl? Or Shay? Do you guys ever just lose a drawing in the drawing pad?
We don't talk about the state of my office.
No.
You have an office? I got a living room.
Wigs.
Me too. I love it.
Chubb's like, where is my short blonde bob? I needed to go out clubbing tonight, and I can't possibly without it.
Oh God. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. But I mean, at least he's ready for the wig. You know, he's
Already for the glue. Already for the glue. Yeah.
Huh?
I can glue anything on. I'm like a what do you call it? I'm like
Mr.
a like a zero. Yeah, Mr. Potato Head. You can just add all the accessories you bloody want. You know.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Oh, and look at this. Speak of the devil, and I don't want to wait for it.
Fuck. Hi, Gal.
Hi, Gal. I don't know if you saw the. Damn it! Now I can't find the sketch pad I put it in. See, I talked about it, and
you have to redo it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey, Gal. I actually have you drop there, and have promptly lost it. So I'm very much impressed with myself. I don't know if you guys are, but I'm quite impressed with myself for misplacing that. Literally showed it the other night when I was streaming with Jason.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. So you guys reading anything good recently?
Yeah, I actually finally got around to reading Kick-Ass. The original one, yeah. And that was pretty good. It was written very cinematically. You know, I was really like I'd never really read much by Mark Miller before at all, so I was like, okay, this is like a TV series, is like a movie. The one thing that's I'm assuming that you've read it too, right?
Yeah, long time ago when it first came out. Yeah.
And they didn't put this into the movie, but it was when it turns out that Big Daddy wasn't really a super, like he wasn't trained at all. He was just a geek who wanted to. It's just that motivation just broke down completely. I'm like, you are jeopardizing your kid's life for what? You know, it's like I thought, okay, that was really weak, but the rest of it was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was fun. And that's my wife
sometimes
sneaking around the background.
Oh, I thought. Thank you for clarifying. I thought it might have been a poltergeist or something. You know, yeah. Mark Millar's. Sometimes he has like really, really weak spots in his work. Like for Wanted. Do you remember Wanted? Did you ever read Wanted? Okay, the end of Wanted, I always felt was kind of weak. You know, just the way he wrapped it all up. Like it was like he was running out of time and he was being called for dinner and he just had to tack something on there, and it was just I don't know. I felt like there could have been a more eloquent way to end that story. But otherwise, the whole story was good. You know?
I've started reading the second Kick-Ass. In the beginning, I'm just having a hard time with the beginning because they are like, you know, he's in training, and you know, he's got the bats. They just call these guys into the gym, you know, for
right.
And it's like it doesn't make any sense. First, you're doing the boxing training. And then you're doing with bats with bigger guys, and I just think to myself, you know, it's like you did no research on fight training at all. You're just pulling this out of your ass, like you did with the previous. So I was still a bit salty about the first storyline, and I'm like, yeah, you're already starting your shit right in the beginning of this one. So I'm gonna settle down for a while before I read the rest of it.
Yeah, you should go read Wanted. I think you'll dig Wanted.
Wait,
because the comic book is so much better than the book. I mean, the comic book is so much better than the movie, like by a long shot. You know, they did all right with the movie, but there's so much cooler. I think if they did it now, they would hew closer to the comic book than they did. You know, just because of the explosion of superhero movies. Because you know, just like in the movie, the world has been taken over by villains, but they're super villains, and they got rid of the superheroes. Like they made all the superheroes forget that they were superheroes, and they turned the biggest and baddest superhero into like a dumb, stupid, bizarro like butler for them. You know, and they call him Dumb Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. It's a lot more vulgar. Some parts of it are a lot closer to the boys than the movie was, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah. You know, you've read The Boys, right?
No, because I read, like, you know, I read martial law in the first instance, and then when the boys came along, I'm like, this is just like martial. You know, it just sounded like exactly the same concept that somebody reject. And I just felt okay. It feels like a ripoff before you even start reading it. So it could be great. I don't know. I just haven't. So you didn't like martial law?
No, I've never read martial law.
Oh, you never read? Oh,
no, I've seen the covers. You know, I've seen the covers. I've seen the logo. So I'm familiar with the character, at least visually, but I've never actually read it. Right. So I didn't know what it was about.
Well, you're going to be reading Slain, which is also by the same author, Pat Mills. So if you like the writing on Slain,
cool. Yeah. That's right. Let me go ahead and flip my camera here. And by the way, yeah. Thanks, Gelth. I appreciate that. I am a very talented motherfucker. Let me tell you, it's impressive the shit that I can do. I'll find it. Don't you worry. I just gotta actually clean the studio.
Meh.
Really?
Cleaning's overrated.
You want to move? Oh, cleaning's overrated. Okay, I was about to say.
Yeah. Oh no, we're not. I'm not.
I was about to say, you want to move your green screen and show us what's going on back there?
Sure don't.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's beautiful over here.
I'm sure.
Yeah. It's not super terrible at all.
Okay, so yeah, this is what Chubb was talking about. I got this in at the comic shop today, and I am so excited because I have been trying to get my hands on this book, this story, for years, and I haven't been able to find it anywhere. And then suddenly, I saw it in the back of previews, and I was like, I have to have it. And finally, it shows up.
It's classic. It's absolutely classic. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, dude, this is the kind of stuff that always blew me away about 2000 AD. You know, just like the just completely different styles and the different stories. You know, and you know, to a lesser extent, heavy metal, because you know it kind of has that feel. And still a little bit of metal hurlant, you know, in there.
Yep.
But you know, I love this stuff because it is so drastically different from the typical superhero fare that we get over here.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody migrated to you know, the big two in the 90s, but that's the thing. I haven't really been keeping up with what 2008 do these days. But they've got some hot new artists like Henry Flint, who's really good. He hasn't done that much. He's done some work for the big two, but not in such a big. Like if you're interested in seeing like a lot more like punkish sort of, check out the Henry Flint's Judge Dredd collection. Very, very cool. Very good. Very cool.
Henry Flint's Judge Dredd collection.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, I try to pick up whatever Judge Dredd I can. Sometimes I feel like the stuff that we get over here is watered down versions.
Yeah, don't read the IDW stuff. That's just a lot of crap.
That's a lot of the newer stuff has been IDW stuff. So yeah, I mean the artwork has been okay, but
it's not the same stuff at all. It's I don't know. It's been pasteurized. I'd say if you really want, if you want the best, to me the best Judge Dredd stuff is the first 10 years before it starts getting into color. So if you can get the complete case files, there are certain volumes of the complete case files. I'd say volume 5. Start with that. It's about 500 pages for about $20 or something like that. Really good value for money. Really good stories. That was like the heyday, as far as I'm concerned.
Awesome. I will have to look for that, because like I got a buddy that is a huge camera. I'm turning and looking at the camera like you can actually see me. There we go. I got a buddy that loves Judge Dredd. That's his favorite character, and as a matter of fact, I did a Judge Dredd piece for him that I used for the thumbnail for this last stream I did with Jason. So, but yeah, and whenever I find something Judge Dredd, I always try to throw it his way. Like we have some of the old Eagle Comics, Judge Dredd issues in the 50 cent bin. I'll grab those for him, and just because he never gets to get into the comic shop. He's got a 2-year-old now, yeah, and he's going to school learning how to do network security, so he never gets any time to himself anymore.
I can well appreciate that.
Yeah. I try to grab him some comics when I can. I'm like, hey, dude, I know you. He loves Judge Dredd and he loves the Flash. So
yeah.
So you guys, you work in a comic shop, so you don't get, because here it's 2000 AD as a subscription service, so you'll get that once a week. You'll get a collection of about I don't know how, I haven't bought one in ages, but it's incremental 5-page stories, and you'll get about 5 or 6 stories at a time. So you get that 4 times a month.
Right.
So you don't get the same thing. You only get the collections and things, don't you? You don't actually get the individual progs.
Right. There aren't individual floppies for you guys, are there? The 2000 AD is really like how you guys get your weekly fix of comics.
Yeah, that's it. So we'll get like 5 pages at a time. So the writing style is actually a bit different if you think about it like that, because you'll still get your installments of a story, but every installment, every 5 pages, there has to be some sort of snap, to get people interested in following the story the next week.
Oh yeah,
that changes the way you write. It changes the whole style.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what we used to.
So I hadn't actually thought about it like that. So it's kind of almost like doing a newspaper serial, like an expanded newspaper serial, because newspaper strips. I used to do SpiderMan over here. They used to do like a little SpiderMan strip, and they would have to pace it out so you only get a little bit of story each week, and it would take forever to tell anything. Forgot where I was going with this, but it seems like 2000 AD is kind of an expanded model of that. You get 5 pages of story. You can actually get somewhere with that.
Yeah, and sometimes the story is only 5 pages, so that's fine.
Okay, cool.
Some will be black and white, some will be color. They're mostly in color these days.
Right.
Whereas I was a kid, it was just black and white, and it was newsprint with spot colors on the cover, and that was it. But that was its heyday. That was when it was really, really good stuff.
Man, yeah. I was going through some old books, and I found some old black and white stuff just done on newsprint, and it works, man. Comics on newsprint just fits. There's something that feels right about it. Now, I understand if you didn't grow up reading comics on newsprint like I did. But even still, like even like Voidwalker, for example, from Alterna, like that book works really well on newsprint. It reads really well on newsprint because it's well done. It's a good, a well laid out story. The artwork, it pops, and the colors don't try to overdo it. Sometimes I feel like colorists have a tendency to just go all in because holy fuck, we've got this giant palette that we can just, play around in. But, I keep going back to this. The way Matt Yackey recolored the original Black Flag fold-out cover, like it's just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Because
he elevated the hell out of that.
Yes, he did. He pushed that line work forward, so that line work just pops.
Mm-hmm.
And the colors complement the line work. It adds depth and form.
That's the thing, is like I get it. Everything was newsprint back in the 90s and in the 80s and stuff, and when you were doing that kind of work, that's really kind of what your smile is totally distracting. I hate you, Luke. Anyway, that's kind of where everybody went with it. And so like I get the old school dick. I get the old school style of coloring it and like how it was colored in the 90s, but what Yackey did with that now is it takes it from overwhelming, because I'll be wholly honest, and I have the entire Black Flag series from the 90s, and I've gone through it and I've read it. It's awesome. However, it is super fucking overwhelming because there's so much going on and all the colors are kind of on the same plane and everything's kind of all together. So your eye doesn't know what to pay the more attention to.
Sure.
But if you look at what Yaki did, it makes it so you go, these are the characters that we care about. These are the backgrounds. This is what everything, and you can easily digest everything that's happening.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and that's how you can tell that that Yaki, understands his color theory. He's thinking about it. He's aiding the story. He's aiding the narrative. Because color can set a mood.
Warm colors, cold colors. Yeah.
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 I mean, that's why restaurants always have warm colors, because it encourages you to be active, to be happy, to eat. It makes you hungry. Red makes you hungry. Yellow makes you hungry. Yeah.
Red and yellow make you hungry. That's why it's McDonald's colors.
Yep.
Because you associate it with food. Like yellow is grain, red is meat. So they put the two together and it makes you think of having a burger. It's the same reason why Wendy's does red for theirs. Yep. It's all of those colors do things to you psychologically, and it's a way to manipulate people.
Yeah, psychology of color. It's a fun thing to study, because you can subtly influence the way something comes across just by using color. But you couple that with expressive pencils and line work, and then you've got this. You've got the recolor of the original Black Flag gatefold, and it's fucking brilliance. Like,
cool,
fucking beautiful. Have you seen it yet, Chubb?
I haven't seen it. No.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah, bring it up.
All right, let me find it.
Yeah, go find it, Luke. Do your job.
Oh shit!
Like I said, I've had my head in a hole for God knows how long. I'm just not in touch with anything.
Well, that's all right. You're working, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
You're making my next most anticipated comic. So I'm like sat here going, okay, it was so good. It was so good. So when is 2? I still have. So I just got my jackets back, and so these are going on probably next week on the jackets, and I can't wait.
Bro, okay.
I'm gonna have them sewn on so they're secure, but then I have a bunch of safety pins, and I was gonna safety pin them in areas for aesthetic because I feel like it's necessary.
Awesome. No, very cool. I still haven't got mine on my jacket. Cough.
Oh, you're like, really? So I'm gonna share screen real quick so Luke can show it off. So I haven't posted this publicly yet, but these are our jackets that I've had embroidered and everything now. So I'm super stoked because I can't wait to get all these like awesome patches on them. It's gonna be amazing.
I see. Okay, so almost like, are they like bomber jackets? Have you got zip going up?
Super lightweight, but they're the bomber jacket style, and they've got like little zipper pouches and stuff on the arms. But then I'm just gonna cover them in patches.
That's perfect. That's perfect for Mary Boys, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect for a lot of the aesthetic. Actually, but yeah, I'm so stoked, and I found a place that's gonna do. They're at least gonna try the writing prose quills, making those into a patch. I think so. It's gonna be pretty awesome.
Nice.
Love patches. I'm so excited to put my patches from all these different campaigns.
Yeah, I gotta sell on a bunch of Red Valkyrie patches for memberships.
Patches are catching on, aren't they?
I love them.
So how many patches are in total? I mean, apart from mine, obviously. So how many people have done them?
So I know ones that have them ready to go, not necessarily fulfilled yet. So I know that Carlo Rowe has his, the Deathsworn.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I backed his. Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah. Cannot fucking wait.
Oddity got to their patch goal, so I'll be getting that. And I already told them that it had to go over my heart because they were one of the first ones that I really, really, really wanted. And so when we got them to this patch goal, I told them to get over my heart. We've got Monster MD.
Oh, right.
His.
I didn't know he had a patch. Okay.
It's the demented nurse symbol that's like bat wings with a skull and everything.
You mean the thing that is on my most favorite, one of my most favorite shirts?
Yes.
The do no harm
because
unless you
must. Bought it from Teespring, so you have it, and I bought it through the campaign, so I still have to wait.
Well, I mean, he just said, "Oh yeah, it's totally up on this site." I was like, "Well, shit, dude."
Yeah, he did not. He did not do me the same solid. I gave him so much shit about it. I was like, "When the fuck do we get a damn shirt, Vaughn?" And he's like, "I promise it'll happen soon."
Well, he said he was going to put he was like, "Oh, dude, I'll put a tier up that way you can get it." I was like, "Cool, man, I appreciate it." He's like, "But you can just go here and get it." And I was like, "Well, fuck, dude, I'm just going to get it now. That way I can rock it."
Yeah. Not like I stream regularly or anything to wear such things.
Oh.
By the way, I think I'm going to put my Mary Boys one on for Writing Pros.
Really?
Because you should have yours by then.
Yeah, I should have mine by then. I was about to say, theoretically.
We can match. We'll promote Mary Boys.
Hell is yeah. Okay, that is not the window I was looking for.
Yeah, who else has patches? I know. So Tim Lim did them for Trump's Space Force. Yeah. Right. So I got those patches. There's Eric Weathers did patches for the campaign that's already fulfilled that had all the sexy pinup girls.
It wasn't Battle Big Rose, the current one. So it was Flying Fortress.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, so I got one of the damaged copies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Trying to think of who else. Art T. Bear. He has it both for Chrono Mechanics and for Black and White.
And I got in on the first campaign for Black and White, so I have the patches, the original patches. I think they modified the patches, or maybe it was the sticker that they changed for the second campaign.
The sticker. Anyway, they made the sticker bigger.
Yeah. Okay.
But and then I've talked Jason Krager and Jason Bascom into patches.
Seriously, I want a patch of that hammer logo. Not even.
I think that he said that they hit it. They hit that goal.
Nice.
So yeah, gosh.
Oh right,
so
yeah.
Pretty.
This.
See, because Dan does so much detail, it's overwhelming, and it can be so difficult to see. I feel like as a colorist, this would be such a nightmare to try and color because there's just so much going on.
But I mean, look at how the line work pops, right in here, the rips, the tears, so crisp. And Will owns this piece, so they were able to get a fucking damn good scan of it. So nice, crisp lines, but. There's a lot going on here, but you scroll out and you look at this thing as a whole, and it's an amazingly unified piece. Not just by layout, but the colors.
Mm-hmm.
Everything inside, look at the background. The background is predominantly blue. It's a cool color, right? So it's going to push back. And you've got everything in here is more of a warm color. Even the purple. The purple's more of or closer to a fuchsia right here. You know what I mean? It brings the characters forward.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I love looking at this piece.
Well, so one of the things that I can definitely say with the original is, aside from the fact that all of the lasers that you see around,
Mm-hmm.
it was almost just that was just solid color pretty much. So that already made it more difficult to kind of tell what was going on. But then if you look at things like the rips in his shirt, so he gave him a shirt that he made a lot more gray. So when he did the rips, the highlight on the rips would be stark white, and it would be really obvious that that was a different part of the shirt you were seeing. And all of those kinds of things are things that we didn't do in the 90s. In the 90s, it was, well, you can tell it's ripped because the way that it's drawn, it's obviously ripped. And it's yes, But look at Dan's
Ooh,
lines.
what?
Look at how
Right.
much is going on. Now tell me that you can easily discern if this was all flats. Tell me that you could actually tell what the fuck was going on. Because as a flatter, you could not pay me enough to flat this. Like nope, not doing it. I would cry. It takes me forever to flat like delay and swings and shit. I would never get through this.
Yeah, it's an insane level of detail.
Yes.
It's almost like, but you almost rely on it to be colored. I would imagine the black and white would just be like information punched to the face. It's just be what am I looking at? But it's not intended just to be black and white ever. It's supposed to, okay, well, the color allocations will help you decipher what's going on, and the combined effect would be like what Ethan does. It does well. His stuff is so intensely detailed that if you look at it, you're overwhelmed. But as soon as you put the colors and you can zone those colors, then it makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. The colors, I agree, J Money. The colors are better, and it makes it look more intense. Not to say that the original colors weren't good; they were phenomenal.
They were great for what it was. The difference is we can do better now.
Yak turns me on. Yep.
That's fair.
That's fair. Totally. But yeah, just this. I love this type of coloring. Like. It's beautiful. It's got vibrant colors, but it accentuates the art. It doesn't, try to, I don't know, usurp it or one up it. It enhances it, not overrides it, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, well done, Yaki. Well done, Yaki.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And I like that haze behind the main character. That's that mist, that reddish mist that brings him forward too. There's some good decisions that are made there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, towards the bottom there. Yeah, no, it's fantastic, man. I mean, I could gush about this piece for forever. By the way, if you guys haven't, go back. Black Flag, Pineapple Perception. Go ahead and drop that link in the chat. Can't wait for wait, is Dan doing patches? Are they doing patches for Black Flag?
Yeah.
Good. I think I got those. Anyway, yes, lots of patches. Always patches.
Yeah, because it's like because I knew about the Oddity one, I knew about Deathsworn, I knew about another one. I didn't know there were so many.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know there were so many. It seems so.
I'm also very persuasive, i.e., very whiny. I'm like, I would really love patches, and I always sit here like your patches have been sitting over on this speaker. So every time I'm like, I mean, look at how beautiful these patches are. Could you imagine your campaign also having beautiful patches? Like I put these up almost every fucking stream. So I've been like unintentionally promoting for Merry Boys. But I
so we do. Oh good.
That's all. No big deal. No, I literally am like, I will bring this up and I'll be like, yeah, like, these patches are amazing. I was like, by the way, this is a really good book. You should go back if you haven't. And like, watch for the next one. It's going to be great.
And they're cheap to make and they're easy to ship. I mean, it's perfect.
Oh yeah, they
it's
fit in
not
a Gemini mailer, like no problem. And
T-shirts are a bitch. They really
yes,
are. I won't do T-shirts again.
Yeah, but I love T-shirts.
I do too. It was really just like a case of I really want this. I really want this for me, sort of thing. And it's not going to make any sense if I just do one. So that was the whole idea behind that. But well, oh no, sorry, carry on.
I was saying thank you for making them because now I get to wear.
Thank you for buying them. Thank you for buying them. Thank you. Otherwise, yeah, it would have.
Well, I mean, it's like I say, I had Clint on the other day because I got my Downcast books. I got Downcast 1 and 2 from his second campaign, and we were talking about Fatal, and I told him like that panel at the bottom that Charlie did with the dude with his feet up on the screen and whatnot. It's just it's so moody and awesome and wonderful. I want that on a black T-shirt. Just that. No words. Leave Charlie's signature down there. Just that fucking art piece on a shirt. You know,
with the Downcast logo on the back.
Yeah, totally. Put the Downcast logo on the back, or put the Fatal logo on the back, or the company logo, whatever.
Fatal. That's the one that's on, not Downcast.
Yeah.
But whatever. Like you put the logos on the back and keep the artwork up front. So for anyone who doesn't know, it's a really cool piece of art that you're wearing on a shirt. Yeah. But then you're still branding, you're still marketing and everything, and it still has that without. Because the one thing I hate, and you guys can let me know if you're with this, which is hilarious because it's gonna out what you're wearing right now, Luke. I hate when you have a really badass shirt that has really cool art, and then they're like SpiderMan. You go, I'm well aware it's SpiderMan. Thank you.
Right.
I know. Or whenever anything Star Wars and they go Star Wars, and you're like, no shit, like fucking hell, come on.
No, I get you. Prefer it without trade dress.
Yeah,
for real. No,
and if you're gonna do it, like you could still have it, but to me, it always looks sleeker if that's on the back, because then if somebody is standing behind you and they see it and they're like, oh, you got a Venom shirt on, and it's like you turn around and you see the front, you're like, oh damn, look at that. Yeah. But it's not, you're not like a 5-year-old who got his costume for Halloween at Walmart where they want you to be Spider-Man, but they also have to make sure that they got the brand on there. So they write Spider-Man across the chest, and you're like, well, now I don't look like Spider-Man at all, because he doesn't have to tell you that's his name.
Yeah. Right. No, I don't feel like Spider-Man. Appreciate
He's just a man who's part spider, basically, but thanks.
Yeah, fuck it.
This shirt kind of gets away with it just because it's a recreation of Venom Lethal Protector #1. Good old Mark Bagley art. But no, I normally prefer things without trade dress. And if I'm gonna do like a logo, I want just the logo in the center of the shirt.
Wasn't that from the Amazing Spider-Man? That graphic? I kind of. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong.
Venom Lethal Protector #1.
All right. Okay.
The whole Spider-Man down here.
I will say at least they didn't put the Venom on Venom, like over the top of his head and stuff like that will sometimes happen when you finally get it onto a comic page and you have to cover up part of it. That's another huge pet peeve, is if you're going to do it on merchandise, then fix that shit, because you don't have the same problem for space.
When I saw your T-shirt, look, I was automatically thought of a certain metal band.
Oh yeah,
black metal.
Yeah, fucking. Have you heard Vader's cover of that song?
I haven't. No, I didn't know they covered that.
It's fucking great. Like Vader, over the years, Vader has become one of my favorite death metal bands.
Yeah, no. Well, look, the Polish people love their metal, and that it's like that is it is. They also do an extremely good cover of "A Rain in Blood."
Yes, that is my favorite version of that song. I know, blasphemy, whatever. I love Slayer as much as the next dude, but their version of Raining Blood is it's so fucking heavy, Slayer is trash, and this is a death metal version of Raining Blood.
Yep.
Boom, boom, boom.
And what's Monstrosity's version of Angel of Death? You can't top that. That is like an updated death metal version of that song. It just kicks its ass all over the place.
I'm
can't top that.
Familiar with that one?
Yeah, listen to it.
Really? All right.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good. I'm
gonna have to find that.
It's crazy. It takes a hammer to it. It's crazy.
Monstrosity, you say?
Yeah.
All right. Last night I got some recommendations for punk bands to check out, or punk albums to check out from Paul Jenkins. Which was really cool. I was checking out some of that shit last night before I went to bed. It's some good stuff. Let's see. I'll bring that up too. That's not what it is. Where is it? So he told me to check out the Vibrators V2, the Stranglers.
Oh yeah, that's old school stuff.
Yeah, some old school punk. It's great, man. And then 999, the singles album.
No.
Yeah. So stuff I'm not familiar with, but I can definitely see why he digs it. Some good shit. So far, I think I like the Vibrators the best.
It's like old school punk is great. A lot of the newer stuff, like have you heard of Proper Gandhi?
Proper Gandhi, no.
Proper Gandhi is basically Gandhi and like propaganda. It sounds good, but the lyrics piss me off so much. I can't listen to it. It's just completely crazy extremist shit. So I'm like, no, there's a limit to how much I can take.
Right.
But that's what it's about now. That's what that's what you're gonna get now. So
I don't know.
Anyway.
Punk just, I don't know. Punk has, for lack of a better term, punk is dead. Like
it had a little window. Everything done after the little window to me just isn't punk. That's all.
See, I like punk well enough, but it never stays heavy enough for me. That's why I gravitate to metal. Like it's just give me the heavy. I like it heavy and loud and woo.
Yeah.
But I do. I enjoy my Iggy and the Stooges. Some proto punk. Generation X. Some of the early stuff, and of course, Sex Pistols. But everybody knows Sex Pistols.
It's like my least. I mean, The Damned was a really good punk band. Like proto goth stuff. Really loved them.
Yeah.
There's lots out there. It's when people, but it's just like people automatically go to Sex Pistols, which never really made sense to me. So they were there they did two albums, and the second album was called Kicking a Dead Horse or something, which nobody knows. It's like, they were just this tiny little component of something huge. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm really weird if you ever looked at my playlists and shit, because I'll jump from super heavy metal and classic 90s grunge punk shit, and then all of a sudden I'll have K-pop will pop on and country will jump in there.
Nothing wrong with a bit of country. Bit of synth pop.
I'm picky with country.
I like synth wave. I'm not sure I necessarily like synth pop.
It depends. I think the only thing I don't like is straight up gospel, and I'm really, really, really picky with rap.
Yeah.
Talk about the Miley Cyrus song here, Christopher C.
No Miley Cyrus. Screw Miley Cyrus. She's a horrible human being.
Your dad's alright.
Apparently on the Joe Rogan show. I saw something on Twitter. She was on the Joe Rogan show, and I'm like, who is this old ass bitch? And they're like, oh yeah, that's Miley Cyrus. I was like, oh my god,
really?
Yeah.
She's grown up.
40-year-old Karen.
She is not
really
done well,
and she kind of sounds like this. Kind of sounds like this a little bit.
That's what meth, sucking a lot of cock, and then the Hollywood evil bullshit hex whatever that they do. That's what all that shit does to you. Is it makes you into that.
She looks so wholesome as Hannah Montana.
Yeah,
remember?
that was
with the long
very
hair.
long time ago. Hannah Montana
That's the last time I paid attention. That's the last time I paid it. Well, didn't really pay it. It's just that she just become Miley Cyrus. So it's probably been a decade since I last paid attention.
Yeah. So what she was when she was Miley Cyrus and what she is now, when she was Hannah Montana, excuse me, what she is now is if you were to think what would be the most horrific way for a Disney star to fall from the idolization of little girls, that That's what
Pretty
she
much.
is now. That's what Disney does to people, though. Like, if you look at the child stars that Disney has and where they end up, that's what happens to, like, most of them. Either that or they're totally irrelevant.
Fuck, today I was actually looking at the cast of Different Strokes. What happened to, I don't know, just randomly, Gary Coleman and who was the one? There was another one. Who was the girl? I forget. Shit. What was her name?
Can't help you. Sorry. I didn't watch it.
Damn it. I was looking at it today. This is what happens when you get old. You can't forget. You can't remember shit. Yeah, but she topped herself. And the guy who played Willis, he did meth and he was in jail for a while and all sorts of. Yeah, so it's bad. I was like, shit. Okay, that's
well.
awesome.
I mean, I don't know, man. When you have access to all that stuff, when you have access to, pretty much everything and anything, just because you have the money and the influence to get it, like, and nobody to tell you, yeah, maybe you shouldn't do that.
It's all about the agents and the parents. I mean, if they are parents. But remember Webster, Emmanuel Lewis?
Yeah,
he's done well, even though he was, he's a midget and everything. He's got,
right.
He's kept the money, and he's doing well for himself and stuff. He's just changed what he was doing, and he's more on the production side and everything. But he stopped trying to get big roles after Webster. He was smart enough,
right.
Do you know that this isn't gonna last?
That's the thing, is when you have the ones that understand what it means to be a child star, and to have like your 15 minutes of fame, and they go like, this shit isn't gonna last, so I need to be smart.
Right.
There's very few of those anymore, but when you get them, it's like, yes, precisely. Like, don't blow all your money on hookers and cocaine.
They're great.
Maybe
those things are
save
awesome,
them.
but yeah, just a little bit of it.
Just a tiny bit, like a couple of your million, as opposed to literally throwing all of it away down some hookers like STD riddled G-string. I'm just saying.
I mean, if you've got
Life
the
advice.
income to do that, maybe put a little away, just a little
Just
bit.
like a smidge. The amount of these fucking celebrities that make like tens of millions of dollars, and then they're like, oh yeah, I'm bankrupt. I'm like, how?
Doing what?
Literally, how did you do that? Like, I feel like I'd be like, they'd go, Shay, here's $1 million. I'd be like, paying off all my debt. And I'd be like, what do we have left? Put it in the bank until I find a good investment. Like, I will take 1,000 and I'll go hog wild in some really cheap ass fucking stores and I'll be happy.
The girl I was talking about, it was Dana Plato. She was in Different Strokes. She played Kimberly Drummond. Yeah, that's right. Had to look that up.
Oh, okay.
But what happened to it? She tried to hold up a bloody. I think it was a bit. It was Mr. Video or something.
She tried to hold up a what?
A Mr. Video or a Blockbuster Video, and of course, the first thing that the clerk actually said, "Hey, do you know who just tried to rob me? That bitch from Different Strokes." They're like, come on, drop the pipe. Then she got arrested, and it was just it went downhill. It went downhill from there. It was really bad. Then I think she did soft porn or something, and then
yeah.
Then they went to the Howard Stern show, and he made fun of her, and then it was all over after that.
One of the chicks that showed up in the later seasons of Saved by the Bell, or no, was it Boy Meets World? Actually, one of the chicks that showed up later in one of the later seasons of Boy Meets World, she just went to straight up porn, and like she makes more money now than she did when she was doing TV. So,
well, if my fans were around before at that time, I'm sure Dana Plato would be fine now. I guess, possibly. Yeah, bathwater. I wish I was a chick sometimes. I could just sell my damn bathwater to people.
Right?
See,
I wouldn't
this
fucking work.
This is what sucks. Like, we joke on the Powerpuff Girls of CG. We were like, hey, ladies, you see that this bitch just made millions on OnlyFans. We got this all wrong. And I'm like, damn, do you know how tempting it is to be like, I put in a tiniest bit of effort and just lost a little bit of self-respect. I could probably have all my debt paid. And I was like, that's really depressing to realize because I have morals. So I end up saying no. And then I'm like maybe still, it's a soft no. I was like, it's still a no. It's just less emphatic because fuck this dumb bitch. There's so many girls out there too that just like bounce hits for a little bit, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, hello, here's hundreds of thousands of dollars that you don't need.
Well, I mean, they need it. They gotta buy, stuff to maintain that facade. So, there's a lot of upkeep.
No. As a girl, I know how much this shit costs, okay?
Oh.
It only gets expensive when you get dumb and Gucci with it, but you could go to fucking Walmart and get a tiny little bra that's 2 sizes too small that will give you enough of a push-up, okay? That's how women do it. You go,
Secrets.
Oh, what size am I? I'm going 2 sizes down from that. And I will just squeeze into it. That's how it goes.
You know what? You could totally do a series on this. Like, you could do a series on
outing cam whores.
Okay. I was going to try to be a bit more diplomatic about it, but sure, fuck it. Outing cam whores.
Deconstructing.
Deconstructing dames. There you go.
Oh wow, deconstructing dames. Did you have to take a train back to 1960 for that term?
I did, man. Do you know how hard it is to find and buy a train ticket these days? You better appreciate that fucking joke.
It's so much more expensive now too if you want to travel by train. I mean,
it's so peaceful. Holy fuck.
It's more expensive if you want to travel by train in America. If you want to travel by train in like England, you're gonna go by like a fast train, but it's fucking cheap as shit. That's like the preferred method of travel.
I heard that. Is like I was going to ask you guys. So is it true the way your zoning works? You've got this massive residential zone, and then you have to travel miles out to get to a place where you can do your shopping and stuff. Is that how? Because you've lived in the UK, haven't you, Shay? So you can how does it compare? Is it like that?
So when I was in the UK, because I was out in the boonies, is what I was told, because I lived in Lincolnshire. So and when I say I lived in Lincolnshire, I lived in Dorrington, which was 30 minutes from Lincolnshire. So like we had like the little corner store, and like if I drove for like 15-20 minutes, I could hit a Tesco. But if I wanted to like shop, it was 30 minutes to get into Lincolnshire, and that was only if I wanted like specialty mom and pop kind of shops. If I wanted to like shop, like American shop, it would be an hour and a half to 3 hours for me to get to the nearest base.
Holy fuck.
And that's one way, Luke. One way. And then you shop or go to your medical appointments, your mandatory military medical appointments that I drove 3.5 hours to get to. I had to wait around for 45 minutes for them to decide to see me 40 minutes after my appointment, and then drive 3.5 hours back.
Man, I'd be blowing through some audiobooks. Holy shit.
It was horrific. And the roads are really, really small. You get stuck behind tractors because tractors can drive on the main roads. Tractors go about 8 miles an hour.
You can't drive a tractor on the main road in the US? I'm not going.
No.
No, you can. You can. Trust me, people do it.
It's depending on where you are. And if you try to do it in any kind of an actual like residential area, you're probably getting someone who's going to call the cops on you and have reported it, unless you're in Wisconsin or Nebraska.
It's tyranny. I will not tolerate that kind of fascism. Thank you. I shall drive my tractor wherever the fuck I want.
I drove a lot more in England than I do here, but I still drive. Like I make it a point, and this is really just more a military mindset. I make it a point to live about 30 minutes away from base. So I drive 30 minutes into work every day, because if I'm closer than that, then I've noticed I get on call for a lot of bullshit. Like randomly, hey, this airman's having XYZ problem. You're close. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm 30 minutes out and I've been drinking. I can't go. Sorry.
Sorry, no, can't help you.
I will like crack a beer and take a swig and be like, yeah, I'm drinking. So just so I'm not lying. Like, no, I'm telling the truth. I'm just not, I didn't say I was drunk. So I was
been
drinking.
drinking. I have alcohol in my system.
Yes.
So yeah, leave me alone.
But yeah, I think that the thing that I liked about England when I was there is that it's a lot more relaxed. Like there's so much stress and anxiety here, where it's like, oh man, okay, so I got to go pick up the dry cleaning, make sure that we walk the dog. I got to get the food. I got to get the kids stuff. And like, there's so much anxiety around it. And we put stuff off for so long that we pack it all into one day, and it feels really, really, really overwhelming. In England, you can't do that, because there's no such thing as I'm just going to pop down to, XYZ store and pick up everything I need. It's okay. If I need meat, I got to go to this butcher place. If I want this, I got to go to this particular grocer. If I want this, is a specialty store over here. And they're not open all the time. Half of them are like, oh, we open at 2 p.m. and we close at 5. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, you're not even open. Because everybody understands, and because they'll be the only place that will have that particular item. Like everybody has.
I understand.
Yeah, but and the thing is it's the quality. Like it'll be quality, like niche markets, and all of these companies, instead of spreading out and doing a ton of stuff, like all these little shops will focus on one or two things they do really, really well, and then they make a name for themselves, and then everyone goes, you tell us when you're open and we'll make it work with our schedule. So everyone plans shit out like 2 weeks in advance. It's like, in a fortnight, I'm gonna need a little bit more chuck roast. So let's make sure that we have that in the book, so I can get to the right butcher that has the good stuff when he's open Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Like, it's just how it is in England, and it's a lot more relaxed because you have to plan. I will say, if you don't plan well, it's not relaxed. You just go hungry a lot.
Yeah.
Or without like necessary medication, because you can't seem to figure out when the pharmacy is open.
But don't you find that, well, if you just solely had to rely on public transport over here, I mean, it's not that good. I mean, in my city, I don't use. Luckily, I live half an hour's walk from my job. Right. I walk to work and I walk back, and that's great, because if I had to rely on the buses, I'd be a very unhappy person.
I imagine.
Yeah, very often I'd be like, okay, today I'm going to take the bloody bus. Then you're like, nah. And then you start to walk home, and then just as you're about to get to your front door, the bus passes you. Same damn bus that you would have caught. You're like, it's the same time if I'd walked. Or
well, I mean, it's healthier for you to move. Like if it's not too much of a walk, then just might as well.
The thing is it's actually a massive pain in the ass in the UK specifically. Like in Germany, it's wonderful. Public transport is amazing because it's always on time.
Right.
Literally could set your watch by it. It is that accurate. In the UK, I swear you hit times where people are like, fuck it, I don't feel like showing up at the scheduled time. I will show up the next three times from now. And so you will sit and you will have been waiting for an hour for a train that was supposed to have hit that station 3 times that just didn't come.
In London, like the underground, the further you go underground, the more time seems to slow down on those damn boards. Yeah,
because you can't see the light. You don't know that it's actually 2 hours later. Well, and then you also have the fact
stealing time from people. That's what
you
it's
also
doing.
have the fact that so like on the trains that go in between the cities, for lack of a better term, town and whatnot,
The boroughs.
Kind of. So you've got this wonderful law where if you are a minor, you can still consume alcohol so long as you have an adult who is willing to claim you. And so while I was on the fucking train with my, at the time, spouse's elderly grandparents, who first time ever getting on a plane, and they went from Utah to fucking England. That was their first plane ride ever. They hung out with us.
Go all out.
Yeah, so they said they were going to spend a week with us. I was like, you're spending a month. You're not going to get over jet lag in a week before you end up going back. So we kept him here for a month. We went to go into London. This should have been my first tip off that the trip to London was going to suck. Don't go to London. If you're going to England, go anywhere else. London is shit. There's no reason to go. It is a tourist trap. There's nothing awesome there at all.
Unmitigated trap.
All of the cool shit is everywhere else. All the awesome ruins I saw were nowhere near London. They were all like, I went up to fucking Edinburgh was better. And Edinburgh is not the best place you can go in fucking Scotland. But it's bad. I went up during the festival. That was a really bad time to be up there if you're not going to the festival, because holy fuck.
That would have been crazy, yeah. That's very busy, yeah.
But we're sitting on this train and we're getting ready to go into London, and there is one dad who is a divorced dad. And all of this I gathered based off of the very loud conversation that the 3 fucking 16-year-olds that were with him were screaming while they were drinking heavily. And he just kept handing them this like tall boy cider that they kept passing around, taking a tiny sip of and then acting way too drunk because they're 16-year-olds and dramatic as shit. Most obnoxious train ride I've ever been on.
Oh, God.
I was ready to throw the 3 of them and their shitty dad out of the damn train because they were pissing me off so much. And then when the conductor came by to, stamp everyone's tickets, he comes by and he was, they go to pay for the kids. And the kid whose dad it was the one holding the tall boy at the time, and got into an argument with them about how he's like, well, I'm only 16. And he goes, you are not going to look me in the eye, say you're only 16 and hold a cider can that I'm watching you drink out of and still get a child rate. And he goes, you either pay the adult rate or lose the fucking cider. And the kid looked at him and he's like, it's fucking bullshit. He like throws the money at him and then took a swig of the cider. I was like,
I feel sorry for those conductors most times.
I just watched somebody acknowledge that somebody was technically breaking the law and then went, well, if you're going to break the law, you're at least going to pay the adult rate. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I've ever seen. Yeah. No, I take it back.
The little shits.
One dumber thing I saw. So in America, Chubb, you'll appreciate this. In America, if somebody's being belligerent and drunk in public, right?
Yeah. The
police will detain them by force if necessary.
Mm-hmm. Right. If you get belligerent, especially.
This woman that had one shoe on because she had thrown the other shoe at a police officer. She threw her platform sandal at him and was screaming out. She's like, I don't have to listen to you. And stomps down the street and it hits him. And he goes, ma'am, that was uncalled for. Can you please come back here so I can detain you? And I was like, fucking tase the bitch. Why are you trying to reason with her? He followed her down the block. And eventually she just goes, well, fine then. And then just went with him. And I was like, he wasn't going to do anything. You could have just kept, I don't understand this country.
It's like, that's the thing. I'm originally from South Africa, right? So the cops there are fucking South African cops, right? So you come to the UK and it's these guys couldn't be nicer. They just couldn't. They take an enormous amount of crap from people. So when you see lots of mind you, it's like the butterfly effect. Whenever something goes down in America, then we have got to copy it like apes. So when you've got so now the kids now are calling the cops feds and saying police brutality. Everybody's a fascist. I'm like, are you insane? You've never been in another country. You don't know what hardcore cops are. Do this. Go to Eastern Europe and piss off some of the cops there. Let them beat the shit out of you for fun. and then we can talk again. Just go to France. Just go do that.
Germany.
Wear a yellow jacket and go cause some shit there, and then come back. Love to see that.
I was in Germany with some students protesting, and I saw the riot cops that hung out in the alleyways. And the funniest thing, I see this chick who's like 5'2", bleach blonde hair, stacked, petite, hourglass figure, looks super cute, right? I got a tad too close to her. She's like, "Man, back up!" And I was like, "Oh fucking shit! I'm sorry. Holy shit!" I was just like, please do not hit me. And they had billy clubs, like they were ready. They were gonna beat the shit out of some college kids if they got out of hand. And they were on every alleyway as we were walking down this street in Munich Square. And they were not inciting anything, but the second those kids step out of line, oh, you bet your ass, everyone getting their butt beat. And the kids knew it, so they'd sit there and they'd be like, "What do we want? We want reform, please. That would be lovely." Like that was like the tone of their whole protest. Was just like, if it's not too much trouble, and this would be like, "You need to pick that." Yep, absolutely. Just 1 second, let me get it. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to drop it. Like, don't beat me.
It's just insane. But I mean, yeah. I mean, look, I'm not for police brutality. I mean, quite the opposite. But calling UK cops anything but extremely polite and helpful is just bollocks. It's not true.
Yeah. Well, what is it? They say perception equals reality.
Yeah.
And people perceive that they are being oppressed, or they are being whatever. Here's an example. My grandmother, right? My grandmother, she's 92. She's very hard of hearing, so I very often have to talk loudly and slowly so she can understand me and read my lips. She got mad at me the other day because she thought I was talking down to her. So her perception of me is that I was talking down to her. So now she doesn't want me to come cook for her. Sometimes you just gotta be like, all right, you know what? All right, whatever. All right. Whatever.
Yeah, fair enough.
So perception equals reality. And sometimes skewed perceptions do not do anybody any good.
That's true. Yeah. God. Friday, and yeah, it is cool. I mean, I don't. With this whole COVID. What's it like on your side of the pond? With is everything back to normal? Is everything like with stores and stuff? Have you got? I mean, in your store, do you have to do the social distancing thing so you can only have an X amount of people that come in?
Yeah.
Right. So you have to keep a monitor at the door, and you can't let more people in after it's really.
Yeah, especially at Walmart, like Walmart and Target, they they have a person that monitors the door.
Mm-hmm.
Smaller shops, you don't tend to get that many people just because people aren't going out and doing stuff. The most, like at the shop, the most people I've had in at any given time were like, two separate couples. So maybe like 4, maybe 6 people at any given moment.
I'm actually wondering what this is doing to the actual culture around shopping. Is this driving a lot of people to go like, okay, we're going to start? Well, obviously it's a necessity at some point during the lockdown, buying everything online,
right?
And then does that carry over? It's like, what, we've been buying stuff online, let's keep buying stuff online,
right?
You know what I mean? There must have been some sort of fall off rate to that. I think because for us it's definitely had effect on restaurants and hospitality industries. Like that's why the government introduced this scheme. It was for about 6 weeks where they would foot a certain amount of the bill if you go out and eat to certain restaurants and whatever. And we took full advantage of that because we're fat fucks. But
hey man, I love food. I'm right there with you.
But to kickstart that, because they were aware that this culture was starting to set in. I'm just wondering, apart from restaurants, has that changed the way people have bought comic books, watched, just done everything else? Just curious.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely encouraged people to order stuff online. But half the fun of like completing a run when you're collecting books is like it's finding it in the wild, man. At least for me, going out and finding it in the shop, like you're going through the long box and holy shit, there it is. I mean, that's how I found. Where did I put it? That's how I found this today. This X-Men Unlimited 27. Brett Booth.
Yeah, you mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great, man. He does some really fucking killer shit. Backlash is what he was known for back in the day. Did this SpiderMan Backlash crossover that was just phenomenal. One of my favorite renditions of Venom. But anyway, he posts a lot of cool shit on Twitter, and he's been posting a lot of stuff that people have been like, hey, I found my this Unlimited X-Men and whatnot, and I was like, holy shit, I only had one of those issues and needed the so I asked him if he knew how many issues. Like, well, it's kind of sporadic. It started, I think he said it started at 25 and went up to like 30 something. Anyway, I have it written down somewhere, so going through and picking those up just because I love his artwork. I think I have just about all of Backlash, even after he left the book. Pretty cool character. Psionic whips. Stop yelling, I will not, sir. What's up, Rod?
Hey, Rod. Hey, Rod.
Felt the same way when I found my black velvet Elvis painting in the wild. See? You know what I'm talking about. It's finding that thing out in the wild. You caught it.
It's nice going to comic book shops. That's definitely true. Yeah, that experience. We've got 3 in my city.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it's a pretty sort of student orientated sort of vibey kind of city that I live in. So I can kind of expect that would be the case.
Right.
But yeah. But it's nice. It's just nice. It's a good experience. You're just completely surrounded by all this cool stuff. You don't get that from online. You just everything is within reach. You get to touch everything. There's a tactile element to it.
Oh yeah, and comics is definitely, at least for me, it is definitely a tactile thing. Like you're holding it, like it's in your hands. You can smell the paper, the prints. You can feel the texture of the page.
I was going to say, it's a big difference when you can go to a little comic book shop, like a mom and pop owned actual local comic book shop, versus going to something that pretends it's a local comic book shop that's actually kind of a chain. And it's very much Big Bang Theory. So like we have one of those here, and I went in, and I don't doubt that the people that work there have read a comic before. I'm sure that they've read at least one. But the entirety of the attitude is like, hey, what's up, dude? What are you looking for? And I'm like, go away. Like I'm looking for you to not talk to me. And they're like, yeah, that's super cool. What kind of books are you into? I'm like, oh, good heavens, go away. Like I'll just look, okay? And if I need help, then I'll call you over. What was your name? My name's Traylon.
Traylon, I'm trying to mooch.
Traylon, go away.
Traylon, I'm trying to mooch around your store.
Yeah, I just like looked at him and was like, I don't like your name. Like literally, I was 2 seconds away from being so rude to go, so did your parents have that name? Where's that come from? Did you rename yourself Traylon? Because
why you trailing me around the store?
It was like the worst. I felt like I had jumped into like a hipster's paradise, but like The hipsters that are even accepted in the hipster crowd, the ones that are outcast from their own outcast crowd, it's very upsetting.
What is happening? I don't. I agree. The sad thing is that they probably think that they're trying to be very helpful, but the thing about it is you gotta let people just kind of look around and take it all in, especially if they've never been in the store before. You can't just roll up on somebody and be like, "Hi, how are you? What you doing? What can I help you find? What are you into? Huh?" Because you sound like a creepy fucker. Like, back off.
Especially when that's how you approach the females, not to be sexist about it, but like
that's even worse.
Don't come
like, because the dude will
like
just straight up give you a look like, "You gonna step back and shut up, please?"
Well, and I am good at this look, but this guy is also good at not picking up on that look, because I looked at him and was like,
well, some people are very dense, and it takes a little more hint, a little more knowledge.
And if you're going to tell me, like, if I walk into a comic book store and you literally have to do this, where you go, so right up here in the front is where all of our t-shirts are. We've got a lot of the back issues are along over here. The new releases are along this back wall. If you're into Funko Pop, that's over here. All of the little things are here. And then, of course, we have our very extensive section that's along this wall over here, along with all of this. I was like, go the fuck away. Like, I have eyes. I can see it all. I see where it is. Go away.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a 10-minute introduction to what their store was.
We sell comic books. Yeah, I know.
They literally
I've heard of those.
Their plush section, their Funko Pop section, and their manga-inspired swag bullshit toy section was bigger than manga or comic book put together.
That's
like,
typical.
It's a poser shop.
You're a like Big Bang Theory store that doesn't have any Big Bang Theory shit.
Listen, I personally find Big Bang Theory to be blackface for nerds, and I think no, I'm not fucking joking. Like, my mom used to watch that shit, and I explained to her, like, this really isn't funny. Like, they're not laughing with us; they're laughing at us. And like, growing up as like the nerdy outcast, I was like, nah, fuck y'all. This ain't funny. Like, you smug pricks. Like, this means something. I grew up. This meant something to me, and it's a butt of your jokes, as it's always been. Eat a dick,
See,
I didn't use all those words when I was talking to my mother, mind you.
Oh, I would have used every last one of them. My mom would have been like, you feel very strongly about this." Like,
Well, yes, I could have, but I was a little more eloquent. But
not a phase. It's not a phase, Mom.
Right?
I'm not growing out of it. I'm in my 30s. This is life. No, I legit.
Frog face. What up, Frog G?
I legit. The other day, I was showing my mom some stuff that I was looking at on Amazon because I was expecting to gauge her reaction, have her be like, "Shalise, we need to have a conversation." Like, that's literally what I thought was going to happen. So I showed her stuff that had spikes. I showed her stuff that had like all black and rips and stuff like that. My mom doubled down and brought up a feather collar that was like this giant, like feather up and feather down. She goes, "You should get something like that." And I was like, and I was like, well,
and start an OnlyFans account.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, okay, Mom. And she was like, I mean, you cosplay, like you could use that. And she's like, oh, and then this little spiked bra. And I was like, who are you right now? Like, I'm a little disturbed. And then she takes me into like, she wants to go into Spencer's and Hot Topic, and she finds like the sluttiest shit. She's like, oh, this would be cute on you. And I'm like, mother, like, I need clothing. So at this point, I'm now just trying to shock my mom because she has scarred me. And I'll say something that's like, it's fucking bullshit. She goes, that is fucking bullshit. Those guys are fucking assholes. And I'm like, okay. My mom's in her 70s. So my mom gives zero fucks for anything anymore. It's great.
Fair enough.
Hey, once you get to it, seriously, And I think that's part of the problem with my grandmother. She's 92. She does not give a fuck anymore.
Well, I mean, you've seen everything at that point,
Mm-hmm. I mean, she's been around the world a couple of times with the Grampy. So yeah, no, makes sense. Makes sense. I hope I never lose wonder for the world, no matter how old I get.
Yeah, I wouldn't talk down to her the way you do if I were you. She's
right. Yes.
I have to point out what Wolverine had said. He said, Shay, what you didn't know is that girl was a triplet. It was a guy. It was a guy named Traylon. Yes. It was a dude. It was not a girl.
Oh, right. Okay.
This is very disturbing.
But that's all relative now anyway, isn't it? So
sure.
That's funnier than my joke.
Yeah, it's disturbing as fuck.
Well, and I don't ever want to come down on somebody for trying to actually be helpful, but at the same time, you got to learn to have some tact. Because I've worked in a couple of shops. When I was in college, I worked in a shop in New Hampshire, and we were a bigger shop than the one I'm working currently, but we would just let people look around for a little bit. Let them get the lay of the land. When they're ready, they will come ask you a question. If they look like they're looking for something and they want to ask a question, then you can approach them. Otherwise, chill the fuck out. Just do what you got to do. Take care of the shop. Make them feel welcome. Acknowledge that they're there, and then leave them alone.
Yeah, because if you hassle them, they're not going to come back.
Exactly. I mean, when you go in a shop, do you like to be hassled? Like when you come into Walmart or Target? Hi, what can we help you? Shop. The home goods are over there. Groceries are over there. Fruit. Like, come on.
And also, people who read comic books tend to be a bit more reclusive. It's true. I mean, there's a certain kind of audience that don't want to generalize, but it is true.
The dumbest thing is I'm a pretty outgoing individual. Like I'm usually, all for having conversations, like striking up conversations with random people and stuff. But if I'm coming into a place where I'm going to need to take a minute to look around because there's a lot to see, I don't need you up my ass. And I really don't need you overly enthusiastic because when it comes to that kind of shopping, you know what it feels like? I'll tell you exactly what it feels like. If you're a girl that looks like me and you go into a comic book shop and people approach you and they go, "Hi, how are you?" It feels like the most condescending thing in the face of the planet. Like it feels like you obviously don't belong here and don't normally come into places like this. So let me be really saccharine so you feel welcome. What would you like to look at? And I'm like, go die in a trash fire. It's the same thing when I would go into the 40K stores for Warhammer. I'd go walking in to go and pick up. I would have a specific figure in mind.
Gee, I can imagine that. It'll just be like, I can just imagine, I never go into the boy, I just imagine walking in there and just all the guys just freeze.
It's exactly, it's like you startled a bunch of deer.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do. They're like, if we don't move, maybe she won't.
And it's an actual woman.
Yeah, and then the second I go and I pick up something, they're like, oh, she's not really going to blah, blah, blah. And then like $130 later of like, yeah, I needed a more detailed brush. I needed this wash. And that figure was just too badass for me to pass on. So I'm obviously going to add him to my Greenskin army. And they're like, so you play? And I was like, I do. So you play Greenskins? No, I'm building my Greenskins. I play Eldar and I'd whip your ass in a heartbeat, but I kind of don't have time right now. And they're like, oh. And I was like, yes, I know. Space elves. I play space elves. They just are. Oh.
You're far more of a geek than I am. So I don't even know what the hell you're talking about now. I'm like,
specific factions of 40K. I wrecked people with my warp spiders. It was amazing.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I mean, it's whatever. Geek is what the fuck are you on about? Christ.
That is why they're staring, Jason, because I'm so tall. Okay, I better be a responsible host because I'm streaming in 20 minutes and I'm obviously not ready.
Oh, well,
Granted, I'm streaming for the last goodbye. And as I have a love-hate for these kinds of campaigns because everyone's just normal people. So there's not really much that I can do.
Right.
So I'm just gonna look like me, but with a little makeup. But it's the best I can do. I swear I'm not trying to cop out. They're literally like, she has two outfits. It's a white t-shirt or a pink diner uniform. And darn it, my pink diner uniform is in the shop. So I guess I'm wearing a white t-shirt. But yeah, so I should probably go and like maybe get ready for that stream.
Totally understand. Well, thanks for coming to kick it with us for a while.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. I love hanging out.
Yeah,
Chubb, you need to come hang out a lot more. I know that the time difference sucks, but
yeah, it's just like I said, I've had my head up my ass for the last while. I don't know what's going on anymore. But yeah, as soon as I reemerge, and have a bath and get back into civilization. I shall.
Yeah. Oh, I love you guys. All right, I will catch you guys later.
All right, later.
Cheers, Bashe.
So in about 20 minutes, y'all can go check out Shay over on Red Valkyrie, and check out what was it? What did you say? Last Goodbye. Sounds like reminds me of a movie title.
The Long Goodbye was a That's the one with who speaks in Motherfucker. He was in Pulp Fiction.
Oh, Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. He was in that movie.
Was it?
Yeah.
The Long Kiss Goodnight. That was the one with the bleached blonde chick.
Fuck. I don't know anymore. Like I said.
It was like what, late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh shit. There it is.
Oh, okay. You're holding a pipe. I was like,
yeah, no. This is my pipe. Yep. This is Strider.
Gee.
Named from Lord of the Rings. It
all right.
Speaks in Motherfucker. Well, it just got ugly in here. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Had to close down. Have a good stream with the best UK artists in CG. You dick.
Fuck.
All right. Then we gotta find a way when Jason's got a day off. We gotta find a way so we can stream all three of us.
That'd be cool. That'll be really cool.
Yeah. No, Shay's right. We gotta get you on more streams, man. I'm glad you hit me up today, and we just kind of just jumped into this and just did an impromptu stream.
Sometimes it's good just to there's no plan. You just want to chat and chill a little bit. And we've had chats before, so I knew it would be cool. We can gel.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I knew you'd appreciate this Slain book. I knew you'd get a kick out of that.
Yeah.
I'll have to post it on Twitter so our boy Phil can see it. I know he's a huge Bisley fan. This is dude. As a matter of fact, didn't Bisley do the cover for am I out of it?
He did the
cover for Lost Pages, didn't he?
He did covers for two CG projects actually.
SOS. Damn it, I missed that one. I just realized.
Yeah. No, it's like it's kind of telling me he's available to do stuff like that for us. It's like okay, that's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
to be able to get that level of talent to work on something.
He's an absolute legend. Yeah, but
yeah. When was the last time you got a chance to go to a shop, man? I mean, before obviously, fucking world went fucking ape shit.
I actually went and I dropped off some copies of Merry Boys to my local comic book shop, so they put it on the display there and whatever, just to feel that I've got something in a shop. Yeah, and that was ages ago. That was beginning of July actually. I just like reopened.
Mhm.
So that was it. And shit. Oh yeah, I actually read like an update of them. What happened was they had this big. Okay, so it's like a unit in a industrial, like, you know, like a high street. Sorry, it's a high street shop, but they've got this big sign like on top of the door, and that sign came off and actually hit one of the guys on the head. So he had to go to A&E for like, yeah. I should look back and make sure nobody's like permanently brain damaged after that. That would suck. Anyway, sorry, I got off on a tangent there.
You all good, dude? I was bringing up a highlight in the comment. Apparently, anything to pretty up that ugly mug of mine. Yes, you know what? Do you know who Jim McLaughlin is, Chubb?
Not
Jim
a fan.
McLaughlin is was the dude that answered the letters, and he was a writer for Wizard magazine. And
All right.
Once Wizard collapsed, he actually started working for the Hero Initiative, and so I interviewed him. And on the second time I interviewed him, he told me that I had. He ended up telling me that I had a face for radio. So, you know, I'm
Thanks.
used to the abuse.
What?
You know, once you get roasted by Jim McLaughlin, you know, it's you know, takes a lot to face you. Yeah, he would answer people's letters very sarcastically and acerbically. Jim was great. He's a good dude. You know, he's always fun. I actually tagged him in a video because I posted one of my old interviews with him, and he's like, "Hey, you misspelled my name, punk," and I totally misspelled his last name. You know, totally didn't check. So I fixed it on YouTube, but there's nothing I could do about the tweet, so I just left that alone. But yeah, so the second interview, I made sure that I, you know, fixed it or got it right.
Toughen up, you fairy.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he was a sports writer. So yeah, fucking funny shit. So yeah, not the first time I've been insulted, Christopher C. Got to do better.
Well, I mean, if you're in this game, you put yourself out in public. You can't get upset about every single little fucking thing, you know. So that's it. I don't know why the hell I do this. I don't know why I put myself out in public like this.
Dude, no, I feel you. I feel the same way when I go out to a bar or something like that. I'm sitting out there and I'm drinking and I'm looking around and I'm drinking and I'm looking around. I'm like, why the fuck am I even out here? This is fuck this. No. So I usually, you know, unless I'm out with friends, and then even still, like there was a friend of mine that he would we worked together, and he would pull me out to bars because he wanted that's what he liked to do. He liked to go out to bars, liked to drink. So I'd go with him, right? And we would go to a place, a little Irish pub, and you know, we're hanging out. And this is actually one of the better stories. Actually, most of the time he'd end up having fun, and I'd be sitting there just like, when are we going home? But this particular evening, I started, you know, speaking like this because we were in an Irish pub, and he's like, you know, you can't keep that up all night. I was like, fuck you, I can't. So I continued speaking like this. So we went on a pub crawl, a couple of different places, ended up at a place, pizza place. So I'm continuing to speak like this, you know, and using cunt as punctuation like you do. And, you know, moms are getting, you know, a little upset with me. I'm sorry. And so I end up pulling the number of the waitress just because of the accent. Go on several more dates, and I'm sure the accent gets fucking worse every time I fucking do it. You know, I'm sure Carl's having a fucking fit right now.
It's gonna go IRA on you.
I did this for 3 fucking weeks. Went out with this girl for 3 times. And then on the 4th time, I was like, you know, I've got something to tell you. And she's looking at me. I was like, I'm not Irish. Her eyes get fucking wide, and she fucking slugs me in the shoulder. And, you know, we hang out that night, but I never heard from her again.
Well, she was into you for the wrong fucking reasons.
I know. It's funny. Dude, you have no idea. I won so much beer from my friend, because the reason I was like, all right, dude, I got to tell this chick. And he's like, no, keep doing it. It'll be funny. Plus, I'll give you another 12-pack. And I was like, all right, fine, free beer, whatever. And I tried to explain that, but that didn't seem to make it any better. I'm not sure why.
But the perfect would have been if she wore a push-up bra. Then you go, see, you do that too.
Exactly.
You lie too to get what you want.
Exactly. It's false advertising. You know what I mean? Exactly. Just don't be mad at me just because I did it better.
Speaking of accents, did you ever speak to Wally?
No, I've actually never spoken to Wally. And it's funny because when it's just me around all of my American friends, I throw it out there like it comes natural. But as soon as I'm around somebody that actually hears them all the time, I get all stumbly and it fucking sounds awful even to me. He's like nervous.
He's the real deal, the real Rolling Thunder. Wally. Great guy too. Yes, if you can,
I love accents, man. I love the dialects. I love like the intricacies, the way like words change and kind of, I don't know, take on a life of their own in an accent and a dialect. Fucking good shit.
Yeah, there's such a variety out, the side of the world. I mean, you can. Just in different parts of London, you'll have different kinds of accents. Within a few square miles, you'll have different, totally different natural sort of variations to accents and things. I come from a part of the country where everybody sounds like a pirate. Literally.
So is it very Cockney?
Charlie's London is classic Cockney. You're right. Want a nice cup of tea, love? Sort of.
Oh, okay, all right. So I didn't realize it was a classic Cockney. So it's changed.
Oh yeah. Well, that is like just having heard Cockney. That's the purest sort of Cockney accent I've heard. You get different variations of it. But the part I'm not from the Southwest. I live in the Southwest. That's why I don't sound like a pirate myself. But here it's like meet me lubbers, sort of literally they use the expressions me lover. As it's genuine. Like if you go into the really working class sort of parts of the Southwest, then you'll hear expressions like that. Really heavy sort of. And we had a lot of pirates here.
Right.
Back in the day, Blackbeard originated from the Southwest, and he was a really renowned pirate. Go
ahead.
One of the pubs that I used to go to, it was inspiration for the spyglass for Treasure Island, the novel.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. That's amazing to me. We don't quite have anything like quite that old over here. Like the fort in the town that I live in is probably it's the nation's oldest city. The Castillo de San Marco. So, it's 1565.
I thought it was Philadelphia. Wasn't that your oldest city?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Nation's oldest city. That's what it's always been.
Right. Just right.
But yeah, 1565, I think it is.
Right.
But yeah, man. That's like the oldest thing that we have here. It was. And I think it's cool that you said it's a pub. That dates back to when Treasure Island was written.
Like it was it was inspiration. Well, Treasure Island was written in the 1800s, but it was set. The actual novel is set in the 1700s, so it's 100 years after the fact. But it's that old.
Oh, okay.
That particular pub.
That's cool.
Yeah, like my local parish church is 1,000 years old.
Holy shit, man! That's incredible. Actual castles over there. There's actually on the beach in this town here. There's somebody built a fucking castle, like with turrets and everything like that, and they rent it out for events and parties and weddings and shit like that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You're driving along the beach and you look one way and you're like, oh, that's a castle turret. Where the fuck did that come from? And apparently some eccentric rich dude just decided to build a castle here.
London Bridge, or one of the London bridges, is actually in the US. Some guy bought it and reconstructed it out. And fuck, I gotta look this up now. Let's see. Brick by brick, it was reconstructed.
Holy shit!
Yeah, London Bridge
reminds me of what's the dude from Gargoyles? What up, Leg?
Oh, you mean the cartoon? The cartoon one.
Cartoon. Yeah.
I know who you mean. The big purple guy.
Yeah, the bad guy though that brought the castle with the gargoyles on it. What was his name?
Oh,
it was played by the dude that played Xanatos. Thank you. I'm glad Wolverine is a repository for geeky knowledge. I figure if I don't know it, he's got to.
I'm my general knowledge associate. But London Bridge, let me see. It's in Arizona. It was built in the 1830s and formerly spanned the River Thames, as we know, and was dismantled in 1967 and relocated to Arizona brick by brick. How did this happen? This just stuck in my brain, but it just seems like a really arbitrary thing to take away. Yeah, it's cool.
To me that's an insane proposition. Like taking something apart brick by brick and then reassembling it in the same way somewhere else. Like, holy shit, the organization that you got to have for that just blows my mind.
You could have salvaged the same materials and done an exact replica of it. So it's literally just this is the actual monument.
Yeah.
There was a comic book series based on the cartoon years later and done under the Disney license. I always meant to check it out, but I never got around to it.
There was they did that for a little while, and that was actually the dude that created the gargoyles that was writing it, if I remember correctly.
Greg Weisman, right?
Yes, I watched a. You ever watch that YouTube channel, Toy Galaxy?
No.
They do old toy lines and cartoon lines. So I watched the episode they had on gargoyles, and that's how I knew that they did the comics. Otherwise, I would have had no clue. Like I didn't know that they did them. Otherwise, I would catch that show very sporadically. It would come on like early in the morning while I was getting ready to go to school. So I never really got a chance to watch it except on days that, I was homesick from school or, it was a holiday and they, or something like that. And they never had it on in the afternoons where I could catch it. So not super familiar with it. I always thought the designs were really cool.
I've always been told it's a really good story. And it's one of those things always stuck in the back of my mind. Okay, I gotta make time and look for it and actually watch it one of these days. But we didn't get all the. Obviously, it's an American show. We didn't get all the shows. We didn't, That's what adulthood is for. It's for catching up on all the shit you couldn't do it as a kid.
Right.
I guess if you've got time and you can afford it, you can, you got the you tend to have the money, but you tend not to have the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you got the time, but then you don't have the money.
Yeah, that's the big paradox.
Usually the way it goes.
Yeah.
I believe that's either that's Murphy's Law. I think that's Murphy's Law. Or something like that. There's a fly buzzing around and attacking me. Fucking this state, man. Muggy hot bugs. Yay. It's wonderful.
Man.
There are worse things, I suppose. All right. Well, I think we're gonna wind this down. Shay is actually about to start streaming or has started streaming. I'm not sure. I haven't been paying attention, but I want to thank everybody for coming to hang out and kick it with us this evening. Always good to have you, Chubb. Thanks for hanging out, man. We got to do this more often.
Yeah,
Cheers.
thanks for having me, and thanks everybody. Like, head over and go see Shay, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys.
And we will check you all later. And if I can just find